Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, and thank you for holding this hearing. Thank you all for being with us today. And let me just begin by saying that in order for agriculture to maintain its current role as one of the few shining stars in our economy, our committee has a tremendous responsibility to create agricultural policy that not only provides an adequate safety net, but that also keeps agricultural production sustainable and not damaging to the environment. I know that's what you all are tasked with. And what we've seen with the current higher than normal commodity prices is land prices going to new record levels. Higher land prices drive farmers to utilize every possible acre to its maximum production capability. So we've got farmers who over the years have proven themselves to be excellent stewards of their land, and conservation title programs that we've included in the previous farm bills have provided an excellent assortment of conservation tools that are enabling farmers and ranchers economically viable alternatives to producing crops on some of these marginal and fragile lands. However, in today's production agriculture environment, we're experiencing thousands of acres of non-crop land and grasslands converted to cropland, wetlands drained, and crops being raised on this land. The outcome of these practices, or at least one outcome for the first time in history, is that crop insurance indemnities have exceeded $10 billion for 1 year, and that was the 2011 crop year. So as we develop and modify programs for the 2012 Farm Bill, we need to strive for balance and not diminish the effectiveness of the conservation title. It's imperative that we keep conservation title programs effective and economically viable for producers so that they can continue maintaining their long history of excellent land stewardship. Our farmers and ranchers have the responsibility over the next few decades of feeding not only this country's citizens but much of the world as well, and we simply cannot overlook the important role the Farm Bill conservation title programs play in enabling production agriculture to remain sustainable into the future. So Mr. Nelson, what I wanted to ask you, in your written testimony, you had provided that pheasant hunting annually brings about $250 million in economic activity to South Dakota, and there is no doubt but that CRP has played a significant role in this economic activity by providing much-needed habitat for not only pheasants but also several other game and non-game species of wildlife in South Dakota. South Dakota currently has about 1.1 million acres enrolled in CRP, which is down from our high of 1.5 million acres. South Dakota is going to have an additional 224,000 acres expire this year and more than 106,000 acres next year. South Dakota's Game, Fish, and Parks Department tells me that the state needs 1.5 million acres to maintain game bird populations at current levels. In order to keep South Dakota CRP acres at adequate levels, the state needs more than general CRP signups. It also needs additional acres in the SAFE program, which is the state acres for wildlife enhancement, and in the duck nesting habitat, or CP37 program. Along with conducting a general CRP sign-up, will FSA be increasing South Dakota's allotment of SAFE and CP37 acres in the near future?
Senator, we do review those allotments of SAFE acres on an annual basis, and we have been adjusting them among the states. And so we will be happy to look at the request from South Dakota for additional acres, and we'll work with you and your staff on that.
How about CP37?
And CP37.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good. Well, we'll look forward to working with you on that. Let me ask you this. Do you have any suggested changes for us to improve CRP and other FSA-administered conservation programs as we draft the next Farm Bill? I'm sure that's a question you perhaps have already been asked, but can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, and I appreciate the chance to talk a little bit more about it. Again, we look forward to the streamlining initiative, to working with your committee, to working with Chief White and the conservation organizations to try to make sure that the programs work better for producers. You know, as a farmer from Montana, it never really mattered to me when I went into the USDA office whether I was going to NRCS or FSA. I just wanted help, and I think that's the way most farmers are, and that's the way we ought to approach our work in these agencies. And again, I believe that to the extent in this time of fewer dollars that we can target these programs to the most environmentally sensitive lands so that we get more bang for the buck while maintaining the variety of tools that producers need. Again, as we talked about before, our conservation needs in Montana are different than yours in South Dakota or Michigan or Kansas, and we got to make sure producers, regardless of where they are in the country, have the tools they need.
Yeah.
So target the programs and give the producers the tools.